You are now listening to Oversaturated, the podcast hosted by Johnnie and Ralph. Now let's get it.
Welcome to another episode of Oversaturated, the podcast where we discuss music, movies, pop culture, and everything in between. I'm Johnnie.
And I'm Ralph.
Welcome to episode number 183.
183.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm Ralph St. Patrick this week, man. God damn.
New listeners, please follow us on all social media. Facebook, just search Oversaturated, the podcast. Twitter is Oversat Podcast. Instagram is Oversat the Podcast, and our email is oversatpodcast@gmail.com. And please be sure to check out our website, oversatthepod.com. Anything you need to know about OS is there.
Yes, sir. And if you want to follow us individually, I am the Mind of Ralph on Instagram and Twitter.
On Twitter, I'm JON, 2 underscores, a letter B. On Instagram, I'm JBS_ESL_AAMU. And shout out to WDJYFM 99.1 in Atlanta, WDJYFM.com. Shout out to all the OS gang in Atlanta, man. Ralph.
I know, man.
we back, baby.
I know, man. Sloppy. Soft. Disgusting. I am over here done. I'm old, man.
Man was outside this weekend, still recovering.
I'm hurt,
still
man.
recovering.
This is really from Friday's work. Like, this ain't even from yesterday for
Hey,
real.
man, look.
Yesterday was still like recovery.
The older we get, the longer it take to recover, man.
Jesus.
The longer it take.
Oh my God, man. So much thing. I had icy hot. Like, I put some icy hot on my shoulder, man. It's real.
That's the shit. Ain't that the shit Shake endorse?
Yeah.
If that shit work on Shake, it should work on this.
It's crazy around here, man.
That's so funny.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Look, spring is springing.
Yeah.
Like, finally.
Spring is sprung.
Spring has sprung. Like, we finally getting consistently good spring weather. So, I don't know. Today, I'm just in a great mood, man. Just in a great mood.
The weather do that.
Word. No, that's real. Getting that sun, just get outside, just sit in it, bathe in it, just feel good, man. It's great. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, man. Real quick, I saw John Wick finally.
Oh, word?
I told you about this. You know, whenever I went to go see it, I was just like, well, let me see if I had some time to burn.
Yeah.
3 hours though.
Listen,
Listen, I'm all for the mind-numbing action. Don't get me wrong, but nigga, action sequence was about an hour. Like, I went to the bathroom, right? I was like, damn, I'm gonna miss something. No, he was still, like, it was still going on. I was like, oh, I didn't miss anything.
it was great. It was great.
I was like, what's going on here? And then, like, I didn't need to see the film to know that Keanu Reeves can't act. But I was just like, Jesus Christ.
I tried to tell you.
I mean, I've been on the Keanu Reeves can't act train for a very long time.
Man, I told you, that man said 20 words that entire movie.
Huh?
He did.
Really?
I'm going to die. like,
this nigga's been playing the same person that him, like the dude that he played in Speed.
shit, and the Matrix.
And the Matrix. And any other Constantine, whatever movie you can think of. He is the same person. He is Steven Seagal.
Oh, shit. That's funny.
Because I'm like, hey, yo, man, how did this keep happening? But, I mean, John Wick, you had the clear villain, which was, enough to be like, I hate this guy.
Yeah.
Enough to where you wanted John to get him. So it's like, all right, well, we're here again.
True. And his arrogance got him killed.
Pretty much.
So, basically. But that's, never mind. Anyway, man. But with that, the thing I loved most about the movie is like, well, clearly the action sequences, but like they felt like video games. And like, I don't know if you recall the one sequence where the camera was above and like he was going like to different rooms shooting.
Yeah.
I think that was based off an actual video game. I don't know the name of it, but I've seen that play style in video games before, which I thought that was dope.
Yeah, I mean, nothing recent. I'm talking about they've been doing that since I guess the modern era of video games.
Yeah.
Like I would at least say PlayStation, because like when I think about like the Resident Evils of the world back then,
True.
you know, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
listen, man. I would happily watch that again at home, of course. Definitely not going to the theater. But like if I'm on a Saturday, I ain't got nothing to do, just throw that on.
Yes.
Yeah, you know.
Mind numbing action, but Jesus Christ, 3 hours. That's all I'm
it's-
saying. Like, y'all doing a lot.
It was
man.
great. It was great.
I don't know what it is with you on 3-hour films.
Hey man, if they good, if the story good or if the action good, clearly the action was just good in this
I
one.
was about to
I
say
mean
the
plot was in
come on,
shaky
man.
baby,
Yes.
shaky baby. But no,
what's the difference between this and any other John Wick film?
well, I don't know because I ain't
Nothing.
seen them. I was like, I ain't seen them.
Oh damn, that's why I didn't, Johnny. Never mind.
didn't
Never
say
mind.
I ain't seen them.
Never mind. This is your first John Wick film, so that's probably why you think this is amazing. It's cool.
I do want to see the one because I know Common was like a villain or a sub villain in one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see it just to laugh.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Since we on the topic of movies, I went to see Super Mario Brothers yesterday.
How was that?
Really, really good film. I thought I thoroughly enjoyed it as a person that has played Mario since I was a child up until now, basically. All the references from pretty much every Mario game that's ever been created is in there. But this is a true kids film. And what I mean by that is, you know how you get like the Lego Batmans and all these other Disney Pixar films that have like underhanded like adult jokes in them. Get none of that in this movie. None of it. This is strictly a kids movie. Now, if you're an adult and you love the Mario lore, like if you just love Super Mario and all the games, all the fandom, you're going to enjoy this movie as an adult. But this is literally a kids movie.
Okay, so they're not trying to get any new fans.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
So, but again, I enjoyed it. I thought this movie was great from all the references to like Mario Kart, Donkey Kong, Princess Peach. She was doing her thing in the movie. Like she wasn't just trying to be saved. She was trying to save the Mushroom Kingdom too. Like it was dope.
Feminism.
It was dope.
No, I'm just
No, for real.
I'm just saying, man. A lot of people don't like that, but no, I'm just no, that's dope. Like, it's staying true to what it's known for. It's not trying to reinvent anything. That's why I said it's not trying to get new fans. Because if you're a fan of the original content, the original movie, the original whatever, I mean, the original game, it's gonna appease to that.
Word. So no, man.
No, I like that.
And it's only an hour and a half, so take your kids,
Man,
take your nephew, take all.
90-minute film.
Real talk.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man.
I'm astonished.
In and out, baby. Even though it was like 25 minutes of previews, but so they made it to 2 hours, and there's a mid-credit and a post-credit scene here.
What?
Yeah. For Mario.
We gotta cut this out, man. Y'all gotta cut this shit out, man.
You know what Marvel did?
First we're getting the extended cuts of these films and movies, and now everybody got a post-credit scene for what?
Why not? Shit.
I know, man.
It's popular now. It's popular now, baby.
Exactly.
That's funny.
I don't know, man. But nah, I'm just sitting here thinking, man, it's a lot of anniversaries here. Before we get to us, I gotta talk about me.
Let's do it.
3 years.
Oh yeah, get you. Hold on.
3-year lock game, man. I'm just. I didn't know. I had my eyes closed. I was envisioning, where I was going with this. But hey, man,
Get your shit off. I got you.
Lockversary. It's real out here, man. It took me a long time to really look myself in the mirror and appreciate the Ralph that you see, because you go through some changes.
It's a
you
journey,
are not
man.
the same. You have to, appreciate the journey. I appreciate every step of the journey. And year 4, part of the greatest fraternity known to man. I'll make it sound fire. That's one of the reasons why I'm sitting here hurting right now. Like, thinking I'm young and you like, no, you're not young, old nigga, and it's okay.
Embrace him. Hey, look.
Listen, I embrace my adulthood, man.
Same.
I some days you have those days where you slip back and you think you can drink and do this. Certain things must be drink to consume and get you to the,
Oh, absolutely,
wherever.
Absolutely. So yeah, man.
But yeah, okay, I'm off of me. Now it's time for us. I don't want to, I want to all the spotlight. Year 6, Podversary. I know.
One more time. Big applause, baby.
Oh man, we started this in April 2017, and we have not looked back since.
Have not.
Oversaturated, the podcast is going through many changes, many ideations. Going from 2 weeks to 1 week. Every 2 weeks to 1 week. Logo changes, tagline changes. For how you view us has changed.
Rebrands.
Right. Just keeping up with podcast trends and lore, but still giving you us at the same time.
Yeah, man.
That's always been our goal here.
It's interesting because for the day one listeners, y'all know we literally started this as just two friends on the mic, just talking about stuff we normally talk about, and seeing how that we have grown and transitioned into the podcast that we have today, the outlet that we have, to having the types of guests that we have, to interacting with the listeners, to consistently posting our videos on YouTube, because at first it was a struggle. Like it's been a lot of hard work, and I don't know if I would be able to do this without Ralph. Like us together as a team, like we make this work. So yeah, man. Six years. 6 years consistently doing this. We both had great things and not so great things happen behind the scenes, but in spite of all of that, we continue to give y'all this content.
Man, pod through it,
man, like for real.
Because a lot of those things that happened to us off mic helped us become better podcasters here. I don't think without any of those things we would have been able to grow. So, no, man, like Johnny said, this doesn't work without both parties you see here. Everything that we always say this, everything that you see here is a product of what we do.
Word.
The editing, the shout out to Orson for the videos that he's been able to do. But that's, before then it was just always been us. Content, like just anything, and we appreciate all feedback, the positive and the negative, because it's always pushed us to become better no matter what this is. We enunciate our words.
Yeah, got to.
Even though we took that, kind of like, but at the same time, it did help us grow. Like negative only fuels, certain things.
Yeah, it's a learning point, right?
Yeah.
So when we do get that negative feedback, of course it stings, and we talk through it, but we're at a point in our adult lives where we can see that, feel our feelings, and then pivot how we need to.
Exactly.
And that does mean enunciating our words better. So, even down to us trying to do other avenues of content as well. Shout out to Brittany with the blog, Confessions of a Pop Culture Freak, that's on oversatthepod.com. Like what she brings to the table has been amazing. She's off doing her own thing too in the content world. So definitely appreciate her as well. So it's just like, we here, man.
Yeah, man. What else can we say, man? We on the radio now. Like things are really looking up for us. We appreciate anybody that's been around this long to even just experience this journey with us. And I don't think me and Johnny proclaim to be the best. Only thing we proclaim to be the best is the best versions of ourselves. But we don't sit here and say that we're better than anybody else. We just have we outlasted a lot of these niggas? Yes. That's and that's by proxy of never giving up. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not saying that to be
absolutely, because we might make it look easy, but it ain't.
It's not.
It's not easy at all.
People see us and think, if they can do it, I could do it. And that may be true. Yeah. Like you can have your own measure of success, but you have to understand that once you take this seriously, it's a level of like effort that goes into this.
Effort, planning, the days that you don't feel like it, the days that you hurting or recovering from certain nights.
I have more of those than not.
Come on, man. Like you gotta pod through it in order to stay consistent. And that's the one thing that I know that I can count on Ralph for, he can count on me for. It's like when we do have those days where damn, I really don't feel like it, but we got this docket and we got these topics we need to talk about, and we get our shit off. So yeah, man. 6 years. 6 years. That's a long 6 years,
man. I'll just say this: we make the show as if we got a Breakfast Club type following.
Absolutely.
That's the type of show that we make.
Yeah.
Now, much can be said about who's listening and who's viewing. That's that's neither here nor there. But our aim is to be, as big as that.
Yeah. So 6 years. We'll take a shot after, but
yeah. We'll take a shot after that.
6 years, man. Here's to
toast up with us, man.
how many ever more. So if you at work, just grab your container of water.
Yeah, or your caffeine,
or your energy drink, whatever you got, and just take a swig with us. Because we appreciate y'all. This wouldn't work without the listeners, for real.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't.
So if anybody that's ever listened to an episode, watched us on YouTube, has been a guest on the show, has seen us out somewhere and say, "Oh man, I love what y'all doing," or "I listened to this episode," anybody that's ever told us that they talk back to the episode, because I get
something we said.
I get that a lot.
I love it.
I get that a lot. So shout out to y'all, man, because
yes.
all of y'all are OS gang.
Yes.
OS gang, we here.
Certified.
Yeah, man. So,
what we doing,
shout
man?
out to y'all.
Off the dome?
Off the dome.
I got one.
Let's do it.
Like you said earlier in the episode, spring is sprung, right?
Yeah.
And there's been plenty of times a song is dropped, and it's dropped at the wrong time.
Okay.
I won't use, necessarily seasons, but sometimes they just drop at a bad time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You can use any bad time you mean. Like, another song overshadow it. Spring. It's a seasonal type of record. Like they just didn't drop it at the right time. What song can you think of that dropped at the wrong time, and what was the reason behind it?
Okay. What song?
I don't want to lead your answer. That's why I was trying to spread out the.
Yeah.
Now I have my answer, of course.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Well, my answer is 2 Chainz featuring Lil Wayne, Moneymaker. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now you know that this song is a sample of a HBCU band playing "Piece of My Love" by Guy. Dope sample. Like, it's the concept of it is great, right?
Right.
But it came out in the middle of the pandemic. So we didn't have homecoming seasons or anything like that. You weren't able to capitalize off the HBCU allure for that because it was pandemic. So there's nobody outside to really enjoy the song. And then before you know it kind of came and went. I think the song is still good. I think the song is still well received, but it kind of missed the mark because people weren't outside to appreciate what that was.
True. No, I feel that. Oh man. I can't think of a specific song. Now I can think of an album, but I'm trying to verify what part of the year it came out. Hold on, give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I'm trying to think because okay, that won't work. So I was gonna say Vince Staples, Ramona Park Broke My Heart.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Vince Staples is a West Coast artist, and you know my theory on West Coast artists. You can't really feel them or listen to them if it ain't 70 degrees plus outside. His album dropped April 8th of 2022, which. Here it wasn't there yet.
Rainy or snowy or some shit.
Yeah, no, real talk. I looked on my Time Hop app yesterday, and a year ago yesterday it snowed.
I'm telling you, it's one of them.
That's crazy. So maybe I'm gonna stick with that because if you weren't on the West Coast, the rest of the country was like kind of in turmoil when it comes to weather wise.
Yeah.
So that album, that particular West Coast album, the type of production that was on it, because that album feels good. Like, it's a really good album, man. I know you called it toward the end of last year.
Yeah.
And we talked about it off mic, but with that album sounding the way it did, it didn't really fit the weather when it came out back in April. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Vince Staples. Ramona Park Broke My Heart, the album.
That's fair.
Because that's a phenomenal album. Definitely top 10 of 2022.
If I had listened to it, I would have had that somewhere. Yeah, I would have had it somewhere in there. Top 10, somewhere in there.
Yeah, man.
But I didn't listen to it till after we was done recording. I was like, oh, let me hit the play button. Yeah. I was like, oh, this is good.
Right. So, all right. So for my Off the Dome, right?
Okay.
Somewhat in the same vein, but let's talk about it. So, like we just mentioned again, spring has sprung.
Yeah.
We're officially getting like actual spring weather consistently, right?
Yeah.
So now that spring is here, what album like makes you feel like spring is here? and I can give you mine if you. Okay, so for me, my album is Flower Boy by Tyler the Creator. Okay. Now I know that's pretty fitting because flowers, right? But the main reason, honestly, is the production. The production on the album, it sounds springy. It sounds like, oh, I'm free, and I just feel really good. The production on that album, and more specifically, the song Glitter and See You Again, like those two songs specifically, like embody what I feel like spring would feel like. The production when you listen to those two songs. So, but the album as a whole, most definitely. But those two songs specifically, if you listen to them back to back, it's like, oh no, this feels great. Yeah,
I can't think of an album off top, but it's a song that's going on right now, and it kind of fits the fact that it's going in the spring. It's Coil Ray Players, right? It has the sample. Like, I know Puffy did it. Like, you know, he.
Oh. Gonna turn another day. Okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was Coil Ray.
Yeah.
Oh, because I've been hearing it, but I ain't hearing it.
But now that spring is sprung, it gives the women a little bop outside.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? So
I like that.
Y'all got it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got it. You know
Facts. No, that's what's up. I like that song. I didn't know that was her. That's crazy.
That's Coil Ray.
That's crazy. Shout out to her, man.
Right, shout out to Coil Ray.
That's fine.
But no, that was off the dome, people. What song do you think dropped at the wrong time and why?
Yep. And then what album gives you springtime vibes? Let us know.
OS Gang, Family, and Kinfolk.
We here.
Man, we got a few topics here on this docket. We got to get to them. First things first. It feels like it's been a month of Sunday since this happened. Now, you know what I'm saying? But we'll talk about it, right? We got to bring it here to the OS platform. Pretty much Angel Reese versus the world.
Oh, man.
Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark, or, you know, the NCAA women's final concluded, I want to say last Sunday, right?
Yeah, like a week
ago today. And it's been a shitstorm the entire week. If you've seen, it's been Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. It's been a lot of talk, a lot of respectability politics, a lot of racial undertones, a lot of women's sports, a lot of conversations we can get to. But Johnny, what do you have for this overall topic?
So first of all, I do want to shout out Caitlin Clark because I didn't know nothing about women's NCAA basketball, none of that. But clearly she had been going crazy all year. She dropped like 2 40-point games back to back. Like she was giving buckets to everybody. So shout out to her because she can ball, right? Now, during the tournament, Caitlin Clark, she, you know, because she was balling like she was, I think she kind of earned the right to do her little trash talk. You can't see me and all that kind of stuff. Cool. That's a part of basketball. Like, I don't play basketball. I played basketball like in middle school, but that's a part of it. Like, trash talk is a part of it, right? Cool. Whatever. Turn up. But now in the final, and I was hoping LSU made it to the final too because I wanted to watch them play Iowa, and they did, right? So watching the final, because I actually watched the final. I was in Chicago at C2E2 at the time. I was just at a bar watching it, and just seeing it. Caitlin Clark was still giving buckets, but Angel Reese, like that last quarter when she knew the game was over and she hit her with this. She hit her with the "You Can't See Me" in the championship ring. I didn't seen people do this with the ring. Yeah. I seen people do that the last few years now. Yeah. Multiple sports, multiple leagues, all that stuff.
Mostly men though.
You're right. But why, when this young black lady does that to the same person that had been doing it all tournament, why is it now an issue? And the only reason it became a racy issue is because of the media. Why is that an issue? That's cool. My only question.
It's cool when they do it.
But it's a problem when I do it.
Oh man, I didn't know we cared about women's sports like that.
Man, look,
that's the. I just want to call out the hypocrisy of this, right? We as a whole, and this is not me saying this. It's just what is being reported. People have never really galvanized themselves behind women's basketball in that way. You know what I'm saying? But now you have something that has racial undertones, which propels any sport that you can possibly think of, especially in something like basketball, where you can say that by numbers. Maybe black people dominate a little bit more.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe on the men's side. But women's side, hey, you can find a white girl to give you some buckets. Like, they ain't hard. They ain't really hard to find. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can find a Caitlin Clark. I mean, not to say Caitlin ain't doing what she do, but you can find a white girl to drop buckets. Like, that's not tough. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny.
But if you find like a white boy American dropping buckets, like that's real hard to find. Like dropping buckets, like getting it off. Like it's been a while. But no, I mean, it's the thing about respectability politics, how women should conduct themselves in sports, but we like when men, talk that trash, ring me, crown me, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And then you get a lot of casual people just throwing and projecting themselves into this conversation, which, Angel Reese may speak for a certain demographic. I can see that. Mm-hmm. Where, I have to code switch. I have to do this. I have to, be something else that I'm not when I'm around these, these people in the mainstream situation. So I can see how people may galvanize themselves behind her the way that I'll say even we, galvanizing ourselves behind like a Sha'Carri Richardson.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
And then you can see maybe the fault in what Angel did. Maybe like I'm not saying it's completely right or wrong because I loved it, from a pure entertainment aspect. Mm-hmm. But if you're talking about like, hey, I already lost and you walking in my face, leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't care. Like it's at the end of the day, we want to be entertained, right? Y'all don't care about that sportsmanship shit until somebody y'all don't like.
Facts.
Like y'all don't care about that stuff until somebody y'all don't like.
And if, let's just say, for whatever reason, Iowa did not make the championship, right? And then I think it was South Carolina State.
South Carolina.
If they made it, and Angel Reese did the same thing to that team, this wouldn't even be a story. One, because 9.9 million people wasn't gonna watch it.
Black on black crime is not it's not a sexy story.
Damn, it's not.
It's not.
It's not.
And then Caitlin is a competitor. She's come out and said Angel should not be getting the backlash that she deserves. And then I just say this: it's beautiful for women's basketball because that's where the men's lack, right? Mm-hmm. The men's championship was the last night, the night after that, and nobody was talking about it.
No, but I think that's because it was overshadowed by.
Oh no!
Okay,
that's the point I'm bringing up.
Yeah,
like,
it's overshadowed.
It's overshadowed by what the blowback from Angel and Caitlin, and then just how good the tournament has been for the women overall. Mm-hmm. Because you get all the best women go to college and play in sports, like go to college basketball. They don't go overseas. They don't go. They go right here. Yeah. Now the men's part, hey, niggas be everywhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas be in special prep schools, AAU,
all kinds of
they
stuff.
go to G League. They go overseas. They don't go to college like that no more. So the product does suffer. Like at least with Angel Reese, she been college 3 years.
Yeah,
Caitlin been in there 3 years, 4 years, something like that.
Yeah, they.
So you had a chance to attach yourself to those players. So it's like you got a system going, you got these players going, you got a face, you got something going. Like in the men's side, you just merely cheer for the school. Okay,
I can see that.
Oh yeah.
So being able to, again, I don't know because before this year I didn't really watch WNBA. I didn't really watch the women's NCAA.
Johnny, nobody did. So,
okay, all right. Cool.
No, I'm just saying, like from a casual standpoint, nobody was really watching it.
So the fact now that people can attach themselves to a specific player because that makes it more entertaining, it makes it more sexy, and now you have these two opposing entities now, right? And since they're both going back to school, and what I'm assuming is going to be either their final year of eligibility, that's going to be a story all next year. So this is bringing even more awareness to women's basketball in college, which I think is dope.
And then the freshman is a freshman on LSU that can rap. Like she got bars.
I seen that. I seen
nice
that.
with it.
Nah,
so it's like little stuff like that. It's like little stuff like that that's making the product of women's basketball in college that much better.
Now, if they were smart, they would take the Deion Sanders route and make some type of documentary on this upcoming season. Now, if we really want to talk about it, and they can get these deals now too. So
hey, look.
Listen, we had a camera crew.
Listen, if it's time for the playing field to be leveled, if you're talking about like what women can bring in as far as monetary gains on their sports, this is the time.
Absolutely,
this is the time.
Absolutely. So, I imagine because Angel Reese, she seems like she's a forward thinker when it comes to this type of stuff. So I would imagine that either her or somebody on LSU staff, like somebody is going to have the idea to say, hey, let's get this footage for the upcoming season, and let's get our workouts, let's get our training, let's get our games, like let's record all of this, because we could put this out and people are going to want to watch. Absolutely.
You're definitely right. Speaking of recording women and men that are going to definitely want to watch, we got the Freaknik documentary coming up.
Listen to my man segue fire. I love it.
Executive produced by Atlanta icon Jermaine Dupri and none other than Uncle Luke. Johnny, what do you have for that announcement?
Look, when I first saw or heard or whatever, read whatever, I was like, oh. Somebody mom and aunt about to be
Juanita about to be out here. Juanita about to be outside.
Nah, that's real.
I ain't gonna lie. Hey, real quick, I seen like a preview of one of them, and then like a dude was like hitting on the chick. He's like, "Hey, you sexy like Anita Baker." I was like, "Hey, yo, that's disgusting. That's disgusting." Like,
this was 94.
It
like,
don't
wait,
matter.
No, I'm saying, how old was Anita Baker in 94?
It don't matter. Like, imagine hitting on somebody. You tell them they look like Anita Baker. Like Anita Baker. Now, don't get me wrong. Anita Baker's a beautiful woman. Don't get me wrong. But hearing that, like, I was like, what game did you have to have back in the 90s?
The real question is, did it work?
I feel like
that's the real question. Look. So like, we can talk about it, but if it works, it do it matter? Do it matter?
Okay, back to it. This is it, yo.
Hey, look, this is all I'm saying, right? I can't wait to see. Because I was, how old was I in 94? Like, 6. I can't do the math that quick. Yeah, 6. Yeah, we'll go with that. So, I was 6 in 94, so clearly, no affiliation with Freaknik whatsoever. But as I got older and I started hearing stories about it, it's like, that's what they was doing? Yeah. So, now we're in the age where a different documentary or docuseries is popping up every other day, right? Yeah. So now we get to see this, and it's I think this one is specifically looking at 1994. So I'm curious, like I just want to see.
Hey, look, man, it's so many ways. Like I'm very interested in this documentary, not for the girls gone wild aspect of it, no, right? But seriously, like you can tie so much to it. You got the rise of popularity in Atlanta, right? Mm-hmm. You have HBCU culture involved in that.
Yes.
You have Uncle Luke and bass music. You have you got Jermaine Dupri and what he was able probably to kind of captivate off of Freaknik anyway. So like all these things that are being floated around, at least in my mind about it, is going to make this documentary great. I just want to see, and then they got to discuss the good with the bad. It's not just, niggas came to Atlanta, popped the, whatever, and then, it is what it is. No, it was a lot of, it was a dark side to Freaknik as well.
Absolutely.
I hope that's discussed too.
Interestingly enough about this, I saw a TikTok video today. Mm-hmm. There's a woman who basically was giving her warning. She said, I was there in 1994 and I'm scared. She said, Jesus be offensive privacy, because I was there. And she basically put her disclaimer out. She said anytime she saw a camera, she made sure she got out of the way, but you never know. Yeah. So it sounds like she's really scared or apprehensive of what might show.
I'm just saying, Yolanda was having a lot of fun down there, wasn't she?
I guess so.
Her and the girlfriend Yvette. You know what I'm saying?
Yvette.
I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think auntie names. Like that's just I'm at that point now.
So hilarious.
A whole bunch of
Joyce.
Yeah, like something
Joyce.
Like that.
But nah, look. We all heard stories about Freaknik, what has happened, what may have happened, what may have not have happened. Yeah. It's Hulu though. What are they really going to show like Girls Gone Wild-esque type things? Well, I think so. Like they can talk about it for sure, but are they actually going to show anything?
Well, I don't think they're going to show nudity. I'm not pushing for that, but like the real side of both. I mean, the both sides of it, like the real of both sides. Like the highs and definitely the lows as to why they shut it down in the late 90s.
And my thing is, how do you contact, or do you contact attendees, or like, and if so, how do you even get the information?
Party promoters. You gotta think about people that threw parties back then.
Well, okay, so the promoters
Yeah.
the promoters for sure, but like
Artists that perform.
I'm talking like
the people
the
that
people the people say I'm driving from Clark, Atlanta to go, like them. Do you? And if so, how you even get in contact?
Hey, look, it's not that hard. It's phone calls.
Look,
Just like any documentary, right? Like Johnny, this ain't that top secret. We ain't like this ain't this ain't like somebody got shot up or something. Like this is just a party that happened in the '90s, man. It ain't that hard.
let me for one say that we will be right here the week after it comes out to discuss. We will discuss our disgust.
Yeah. Speaking of discussing our disgust, Complex has dropped the top, what is it, 25?
I think it was 25, yeah.
Top 25 hip hop media list. They have a very sound criteria, but we'll get to it. Johnny, what is your immediate reaction to this?
Oh yeah, another list.
Yeah, right.
It's lit. It's lit.
Much.
Look, man, we all know who number one is.
Yeah, it's been discussed. So.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by it.
Okay.
Now, am I surprised by the rest of the list?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Kind of. So it's just like, all right, Complex put out a list. In the past, their lists, I feel like haven't been that like sound when it comes to criteria.
Oh, okay. Not past list of Complex, but just past lists that we've discussed here.
Both.
Okay. No, because is this the first time Complex has done this?
You know what? That's a good question.
I feel like
it is.
I feel like this is the first time that we've gotten to a point where we can acknowledge hip hop media in that way, where we can just start making lists about them.
I think you're right.
Because think about it like this: in the foreword or the beginning of the article, right? They talked about the explosion of hip hop, the explosion of hip hop media. You've always had like stalwart journalists like Big Boy, Angie Martinez, Sway, Big Tigger. You always had those people, right?
True.
But as hip hop has grown, and then like when the internet just kind of blew up, you can start to get like ex rappers doing it. You can start to get like people like me and you, or like an academic, like somebody like that, to just start talking hip hop.
Yeah. And with the explosion of social media, anybody can really, like, if you get that one hit interview or that one viral clip, like, your platform is just going to explode now,
Exactly.
right? And how you're able to capitalize off of that is ultimately how you can stay in the hip hop media space.
Yeah.
Which I feel like a few people on this list have done.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
well, going viral is one of their criteria, right?
Right.
Well, viral clips.
Right. So, yeah, man, this is a very, very interesting list. So let's just talk about the criteria, right? They said we used a scoring method based on 5 categories. 1, commentary and banter. 2, star power of guests. 3, consistency. 4, viral moments. And 5, integrity of content. So those are the categories that they use to rank this list, which there are 25 people. So, do we want to go through the whole list or just pick out the ones?
Just kind of highlight, because I mean, we'll be here all day talking about the complete 25. Now, I will say this: a lot of legacy people are on this list, and they might be sprinkled here and there where you might disagree as to their ranking, but because like people like Sway are there, right? He's like what, 20 something,
23,
right? 23.
Yep, 23.
Sway is Sway though. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So, Sway don't have to go viral. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Sway don't have to appeal to certain people. Like, Big Boy and Angie Martinez don't have to appeal to certain people. But they're sprinkled on the list.
True.
Elliot Wilson, he's on the list.
Yep. And because of that, they said we engineered this list to be a ranking of right now, which means current relevance and influence supersedes legacy and longevity.
Yeah, and this is not an all-time thing.
This is not an all-time.
Because if that's the case, you got to start talking Fab Five Freddy and
people
like
right,
that. So,
right,
no.
Right. Star.
I understand.
Like,
Ooh, Star. Yeah. But this is right now.
Yeah,
so,
man.
And for right now, I guess maybe I can agree with, certain people being where they are.
Yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, reading through this list, I mean, a few of these people I don't know, I'm not familiar with. Yeah. But there's only one person I'm like just utterly disgusted with. That's on this list, Carisha.
Oh yeah, especially being that high.
Like, fam, I don't think it's been a year yet for Carisha, please. So
yeah, like I agree with
like shout out to her and like her platform, but like she ain't really put in no real work.
If you're talking about viral clips, and I guess the hard hitting questions, like listen, I'm not agreeing. I'm just trying to rationalize it.
I get it because yes, she has had quite a few viral clips.
Any show she's done went viral,
but I don't feel like it's enough. I don't feel like it's enough.
It's like the integrity of the content. Like what we talking?
Yeah,
about? And then that's where you start questioning cats like Adam 22 and academics. Like Act has a big platform.
He does.
You do not talk bad about Big Act out here in these streets, like because he got them right. But for one, Act ain't never been for me. The only reason I even really started paying attention to Act for real in that space was because of Everyday Struggle.
Same.
So. Shout out to Act though.
Yeah,
like I mean, he number 2.
Right, he's number 2. So shout out to him
like
for that.
Excuse me, Big Act.
Yeah, right. Look, Angela Yee, she's number 14. Shout out to Angela Yee. Yeah, I don't really have much to say there. She did start her own radio show, and I don't think nothing really happened. I think she's on here mainly because of her podcast, Lip Service.
Clearly, okay. And then I like, is it 24? What's the girl that's been kind of like the stand-in on Breakfast Club, the most consistent stand-in?
Nyla Simone?
Yeah. Okay. Nyla's dope.
Okay.
Nyla's dope.
I'm not mad at that. Oh, there's another person I'm kind of disgusted at, but maybe I can see why he's on this list. Mm-hmm. Number 11 is Jason Lee.
No, he has his space.
He does. No, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, but I just, I don't know, man. Well, to me, he seems as if he's like the clout chaser.
That's what Ack is. He's just straight. That's the only thing. Jason Lee just gay and messy. Like that's the only thing. Bro, no, if you talk about hip hop journalism, talk about journalism, I listen. I have no problem with Jason Lee being there, bro.
Bro, that's fucking hilarious. I love it.
Like if you talk about messy, Act stay in some mess. You know what I mean? Rappers want to beat his ass.
All of them.
All of them.
All of them. I do want to shout out Math Hoffa.
Yes, sir.
Because he's number 10.
From the battle rap culture, man.
Yeah,
like
man.
For my expert opinion to be as big as it is, bro.
I was gonna say. I kind of remember when he like first started it, and for it to go from where he first started to where it is now, like he's
and
interviewing.
Nothing changed. The only thing is just the caliber of guests.
Yeah, right.
That's what changed.
So shout out to him for like being a good interviewer because people wouldn't go up there if he didn't know how to really navigate conversation and like ask the right questions.
Well, Norris top 5, so.
Well, that's because he get people on to drink. That's really what it is. Let's give a hand clap. Look at that. Look at that. Definitely going to skip over Vlad.
Yeah, shout out to Elliot Wilson. He top 8.
Now, I do want to mention number 6, Kai Sint. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Sinet? Sinet? I don't know. But he's a Twitch streamer.
Yeah.
Now, I only learned about him through viral clips on Twitter.
Exactly.
And just seeing how he's able to get certain celebrities on his live, how he he streamed himself watching the Dreamville Fest that was last weekend. Like just doing stuff like that and being able to garner such a vast following. I think that's dope as hell.
Yeah, and this is the thing too, right? We have to understand where we're at because some of these hip hop media outlets are not for us. Like Act missed us by this much. Yeah. Because he covers everybody else under us. Mm-hmm. That's why we can't see it for Act. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just like Cock, whatever my boy name.
Yeah,
I
can't pronounce his
name, but I've seen his face. But he covers the people that the kids and the rappers underneath us. So it's like none of that matters to me. I don't care about Rich the Kid slapping somebody. I don't care. But there is a segment of hip hop media outlets that cover those.
This is crazy. Like it says his most memorable moments. He FaceTimed Drake. That's a memorable moment. Okay. He FaceTimed Drake, I guess Lil Baby, and him and G Herbo did the pregnancy simulator.
Hey yo,
hey, look, lowest of keys. I would like in for content over everything. I would try it.
Hey, I sit here with a belly every day. And you want to say. You do not want this problem, bro. Like I'm telling you, when you got a rock to get up and shit, like you don't want to do that, bro. You don't want to have to deal with that.
Damn, fam. Well, let me ask you this: would you do, the hot chip challenge?
No.
Would you?
No, absolutely not.
Look,
Listen, man, I'm COE gang, but listen,
Look,
bro.
that-
Listen, bro.
There's stipulations.
There's stipulations to this, man. I'll do a
I'm
lot.
not
Of,
mad at it.
I'll do a lot of self-deprecating humor before I do that. Like, I'll joke on myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? But we ain't doing. I can't do the hot chip, bro. I'm sitting there with a slight hangover, and I ain't drank since Friday.
All right,
So you think I'm gonna eat a hot chip?
I got you. Man. Look, we'll have hella ice cream on deck to curb it.
No.
Damn. Okay. Because I low key want to try it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring my guy. I'm gonna bring Jerno in because
Hey,
he the spicy food king. So
He always getting certified. He
Yeah.
got it. Shout out to you,
hey,
bro.
that's funny as
Shout
hell.
out to you, bro.
That's funny as hell, man.
But no, man. I mean, thoroughly. I mean, honestly, I think that I enjoyed the list.
yeah,
I like. It's not as egregious as like last time we discussed the list, like with the hip hop. You know, the top 50 rappers of all time.
This is true.
This is something brand new. It kind of like falls into the right spaces. Like it definitely covers all the bases.
Yep.
So I mean, hey.
Shout out to them, man. So just going through the top 5, right? Starting at number 5. So number 5, we got Nori with Drink Champs, of course. Number 4, we got Gilly and Wallow.
Fair.
$1 million worth of game.
Fair.
Number 3, we got Charlamagne the God. He got the Breakfast Club. He got his Hell of a Week show, and then he has Brilliant Idiots. So shout out to him. Number 2, we got DJ Academics. Off the Record with DJ Academics. And then number 1, we got the Podfather himself, Joe Budden. So shout out to everybody that's on the list. So yeah, man, shout out to Complex for actually putting together somewhat of a decent list
No, it actually is a decent list. It's probably one of the first decent lists I've seen
in a long time. So yeah,
I
shout out.
guess because the content is so new. Like,
Yeah.
and it wasn't like they didn't have like anybody egregious at one. They didn't put Kai, what's my man name, at one. Imagine him being over like Joe and Charlamagne.
No, that'd be crazy.
You be like, hey, yo, this is nasty. Like,
Now, but with that though, it's interesting you mentioned that because wait a minute, let me get the numbers right. Let me look. So he has 3.5 million followers on YouTube and 4.8 million on Twitch.
hey, look,
Like that's
nothing.
that's different.
and that's nothing to sneeze at.
That's
But
different.
I think even then, his content ain't moving the culture in that way. That's why it's hard to put him over like the people that are above him.
And I feel that, and I think at least with the top 3, right? Well, I can't really speak for Act because I don't really watch him like that. But I think the balance of all of those different sliders is what puts them in the top 3 or top 5, right?
Exactly.
So
because like $1 million worth of game had Michael B. Jordan on there. He's not a rapper. Like
He's not.
But for his Creed 3 run, he went.
he was there.
So it's like certain things like that. I was like, nah, you unless you get him to sit down at your Twitch table with you,
Right,
like,
and
that's
yell
all-
and do all this extra shit.
Nah,
It ain't happening.
We ain't doing that.
It ain't happening. So
But
yeah.
let's talk about this, man. Blerd topic, Blerd 7. We got a few things to kind of get into. We'll start with the trailers because the Blerd gods, DC and Marvel, has blessed us with a multitude of trailers. Like, I don't
about it,
like
multitude.
I don't even know where to start. Like, do we go to into the Spiderverse? Like, you want to go there first, or Secret Invasion first, or you want to go Beetle first? Like, what?
So, okay, let me ask you before we even go.
Okay.
Which one out of the 3, Blue Beetle, Across the Spider-Verse, and Secret Invasion, which one are you most looking forward to?
Secret Invasion.
Okay, me too. So let's do that
Invasion.
last.
Okay.
Let's do that last. So let's just start with Blue Beetle because this is a
brand
this
new,
is a
brand new.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We here, baby. We here, baby. So DC dropped a new trailer for a brand new property.
Hey.
Blue Beetle.
Hey.
Ralph.
Applying pressure.
Woo, talk about
They
it.
applying pressure.
about it.
Like, I'll say this. Have I seen origin films before? Yes. Have I seen the concept of like a parasitic type of superhero? Yes. But am I intrigued? That's the point. Yes. Yes. I want to see this. And then, I mean, I'm going to point out the complete obvious. Like, you have a Hispanic. You know,
Yes.
like, you have representation.
Yes.
You have representation.
Absolutely.
Ain't George Lopez
He played a dad or uncle or some shit. I don't know.
Hey, man. Sign me up. I'm
Facts.
there. Opening night, bro. I ain't got nothing to say.
Talk
bro.
about it. Look. Let's go, baby.
Usually
Let's go,
I hate.
baby.
I couldn't find nothing to hate on. I was like, oh no, I'm excited.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, this is all there. So Blue Beetle, right? It's a ancient alien tech scarab from outer space from a alien race called the Reach.
Yeah.
Now there are a few different versions of Blue Beetle, first of all, but then also a few origin stories. Like I think the most popular one is the scarab was found in Egypt all these years ago. It was passed down through generations, and then somehow Jaime Reyes, who was the name of the main character, it just attaches to him and he becomes the host.
Yeah.
So that's like the origin in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Now how they do that in this movie, I don't know, but I'm thoroughly intrigued. I think the suit looks amazing.
CGI, the CGI looks good.
Looks freaking amazing. I am thoroughly happy to see a Latino Latinx. I'm not really sure how to say it here, but but the family, like I'm really all for like learning the different nuances of different cultures when it comes to this. Like that's one of the reasons I love Ms. Marvel so much, because seeing the Muslim family and the little nuances when it comes to school and upbringing and all that kind of stuff. I love that. Yeah. So I'm thoroughly looking forward to seeing that here. Thoroughly looking forward to see the suit in action. My only gripe, I have one gripe, and maybe this won't even make the final cut. But as someone who grew up on watching Justice League and Teen Titans and all these shows, the voice of the Scarab in the movie, and at least in the trailer, it sounds robotic, right? But in cartoons and whatever live action, because he was like in Smallville for a point, the voice the voice sounds human. Sounds like a human woman, and I kind of wish they went that route. I don't really like the robotic voice sound. That's my only gripe, and if that's my only gripe, the shit's still gonna be fire.
I'm about to say that's
a nitpick. That's clearly a nitpick. That's me though. That's just me.
But that's because you know what it was before, or at least what source material is. Me, I was like, oh. The only thing I looked at, I was like, I've seen this before, but yet I'm intrigued. Like that's all. I was like, I've seen this whole thing before.
It's so funny. I saw people who clearly aren't familiar with the character, right?
Yeah.
I seen so many comparisons to like Power Rangers, to Spider-Man. And I kind of thought it was.
Well,
funny.
I mean, all of it, all this stuff is not new. Like that's the only thing. I was just like, that's why like I've seen it before, but I'm not gonna like openly compare it to something else. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let it be what it is.
Yeah, man. I look. I'm almost as excited for this as I am for the Flash. Only because Blue Beetle is like one of my, I would say, top 20 like favorite characters. Okay. So to see it in live action in a movie like this,
let me ask you this: now, is he a kid?
Yes, he's a high school student.
Okay,
high school student.
Okay.
I know he kind of look old as hell, right?
Yeah. I was confused. I didn't know if he was a kid or not. Like I was like,
yeah. Now maybe they. And I think so. In the trailer, when he went to get the job, the jacket he had on, I think that was like his school uniform jacket. I think.
Okay.
So maybe they switched it up. I don't know.
Okay.
So shout out to DC, man, because look, I don't know what Marvel on, but
hey, we'll get to that in a minute. Let's cross over into the Spiderverse, bro.
Oh, I see what you did there.
I mean, hey, the sequel to arguably some people's most, best version of Spider-Man film. I mean, hey, I'm not here to say that. That's what they said. Miles Morales is back on the silver screen in his, I wish it could be a live action at some point, but animated film.
Yeah.
Johnny, what did you think about the trailer? What's your reaction to it, brother?
Just purely seeing the amount of spider people in this movie makes me excited. Also, him mentioning Doctor Strange and our Peter Parker from what they say is Earth 616, but in the trailer he referenced Earth 199999. Same, it's the same shit. Yeah. It's been a whole debate, but it's the same thing. I think so. I'm kind of going on a tangent here, but I think with this whole like multiverse thing going on, I really think that all the movie studios are trying to connect every movie studio to the same universe through the multiverse. And if they can pull that off, I think that shit is going to be like earth shattering. Like, I think that's
what they're starting to do it. And then this is a Marvel property, right?
Yeah.
Marvel, Sony, like they share they share this the way that they share the live action stuff.
I think.
Or is this
the animated across the Spider-Verse is strictly Sony.
Oh, okay.
Strictly Sony. They're leasing the live action Spider-Man to MCU.
But this is completely
But this is strictly Sony.
But I think Well, by proxy, I think that, I mean, like you said, I'm not arguing the business because I don't even know that part. But by proxy, it is good that they are trying to just say that, at least make a light reference. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
like,
you know,
that's fire to me.
Niggas might get sued on the back end. It's like,
We got shit. You gonna make the money, so shit.
right, man.
Pay
Hey,
it.
man, just,
You know.
mention Stephen Strange.
Yeah.
Little Peter Parker over here, man. God damn,
Facts.
is that
Facts.
serious? But no, I mean, you talk about the trailer, looks amazing, man. Like, I ain't got nothing to say. Like, I mean, give me the film. Like, I mean, the villain looks good. Like,
The spot, yeah.
it looks crazy, but I'm glad this is something that's animated because I don't know how you can sell me on this.
Absolutely not.
Live
No
action.
way you can have the spot in live action.
Yeah.
Which is why I think they chose that villain for
Now,
this movie.
he sound like Voltron voice, not Voltron, Ultron.
James Spader.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could type fast enough to look that up.
But I mean, just how they introduced him in that shop and the way he was talking, just it was a menacing voice. I'll just say that.
You think so? Because he looked kind of goofy to me. He had
Yeah,
the bread,
at
bread falling out of his
first it
stomach.
did look goofy, but I'm just talking about the voice.
Yeah.
At first, I thought it was a joke because Miles wasn't taking him serious.
He wasn't. He wasn't. That had to be like their first encounter.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
But also with him being half black, half Latino.
And he failed, and he got to be in Spanish.
Man, nah, that's crazy.
wild.
That's crazy.
he got an A in like astrophysics. He got to be in Spanish.
You see it?
His aunt was like, "Nigga,
that's
what?"
his mom.
Oh, his mom.
You see how tight his mom got?
Nah,
when
hold on, because I thought he was raised by his uncle, or is that?
No.
What am I
That's his mom and dad. His
Okay.
uncle became the Prowler, who was another villain.
Oh, and that was in,
I think it's his dad's brother.
Oh, okay. That I'm thinking about when Donald Glover was in.
Yeah, so that's the uncle.
Okay,
That's
never
the
mind.
uncle.
Never mind.
Yeah. But when she got mad, she snapped, and when she snapped, it was a Puerto Rican flag. That shit was fire.
And then, if you notice, he had a BLM sticker on his book bag.
He did. Yes, he did.
I was like,
Yeah, yeah. I love it.
All right.
Look, I'm here for it. That comes out June 2nd. I want to say.
I don't know. I'll remember when it's time to.
You're right.
Like when it's time.
All I know is the Flash come out June 16th. That's all I got. That's all I got for you.
I got you. Let's get to this last trailer, man. Secret Invasion, MCU, show. I can't even get it.
Yeah,
out.
yeah. Disney Plus series. Yeah.
Disney Plus series. Johnny.
Let me hit the round of applause for this trailer. If it's one thing Marvel, the MCU, Disney, all them people gonna do, they gonna get a trailer right. So let me just say that off top.
Yeah.
Off the trailer alone, this shit got me hyped. I don't think I've been this hyped for an MCU property since fucking Endgame or something. Like it looks amazing, and for us to see Nick Fury, we've only seen him in a post credit scene for one of the movies where he was like outer space or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Was that No Way Home? Yeah, that was No Way Home because a Skrull was impersonating him that whole movie.
I can't remember.
So being able to see Nick Fury in action probably one last time.
Ooh,
The whole
you think he
espionage.
dies?
Listen, he said in the trailer, he said himself one last fight. He said it. That's all I'm gonna say. So the whole espionage piece, which gives me Winter Soldier vibes, the whole spy theme, the whole who's a Skrull, who isn't.
They write better when it's time for that.
Yeah, facts.
They write better. That's why I take away from this. I was like, oh, it look. I mean, they always pump fakers on all these trailers. We done seen all the trailers. We always hype for the trailer.
We could sue their ass now.
But nah, I mean, honestly, Secret Invasion looks really good. I hope if this is the last time we do see Nick Fury, like you said, they treat him with, they give him something good to go out on.
Absolutely.
And then, pass the mantle of whatever he's the head of to, whoever, right? Mm-hmm. But do you know if it's gonna be 6 episodes or 9?
Oh, I think I read it's gonna be 6.
Okay.
It's gonna be 6, which means they gotta get right to it. Unless the episodes are like 45 minutes. If they 30 minutes, they gotta get to it.
Man, I don't know, man. If this was a film, I would be way more hyped for it. Mm-hmm. But this is a show, because it's the track record of the shows. It's not that's what gives me. That's why I'm pessimistic about it. I'm not hype about it because it's a show.
Look, but it's Nick Fury, man.
I know, you're right. You're right.
All I want to know is who is a Skrull and who ain't. I want to know now.
So you don't be pissed when you see it.
Maybe I might.
So when does this come out?
June 21st, I believe, is
Okay.
the first episode.
Well, we'll be here breaking that down weekly. So.
Absolutely. Oh, I can't wait. I can't
Yeah.
wait, man.
But since we're on the content of Marvel Studios and their 2023 releases, like you just said, Secret Invasion comes out in June.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have Guardians of the Galaxy coming out in a few weeks.
Yep.
May the 5th. And then one most important thing we should definitely notice, the Marvels has gotten pushed back. Because it was supposed to come out in July.
Oh, that's
It was
right.
actually coming out on July 10th. Or July. It was like early July. It was something like that. It was after the 4th. But now it's November.
Now, I don't know, but I imagine that happened because they don't want to drop that in the midst of Secret Invasion. Because I'm imagining part of that is going to roll into the Marvels.
Okay. I don't know. But, this is what I've heard. And it was just a small rumbling that the test screenings weren't good.
Oh, wow.
But, I mean, hey, look, I don't... Listen, Captain Marvel made $1 billion, but I don't mean we liked it.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
So...
Feminism.
Yeah, you know what it. Hey, look, too much girl power, and then you throw a black woman and a Muslim woman. What's Miss Marvel? Is she? I mean, she's Muslim. We'll just stick with Muslim. I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But a black woman and a Muslim woman, so you can't make niggas misogynist and racist. Like you can't do that. Like you better come with it.
They try to get all the demographic books.
They try to check. Man, hey,
the
look,
black dollar, the Muslim dollar,
women,
the feminist dollar,
women dollars,
the women dollar,
like,
the MCU dollar.
like,
They get all of it. All right, so Ant-Man Quantum Mania already came out in February.
Yeah, we forgot about it. That's crazy.
Yeah, that fast, right? Jonathan Major's fault. But so for the series, we already talked about Secret Invasion. We already talked about Secret Invasion. Comes out in June. Season 2 of Loki comes out in September. I mean, I think has a trailer come out for that? Am I tripping? Maybe not.
They've been doing like sneaker
snippets.
teaser trailers. I said
Teasy.
teaser trailers.
And then your shit Echo coming out in December.
I thought that got canceled.
I thought it
got
too.
canned.
I thought it did too, but clearly not. I think that's gonna roll right into the Daredevil series because the same like Kingpin and all that. And she's like Kingpin's niece or some shit.
That's the only way I'm watching it.
Got to, man.
Yeah, bro,
Gotta review this shit, bro.
Man, stop doing this to me, man. Stop doing this to me.
We gotta
Man.
do it. Ain't me, it's them.
It's them.
It's not me.
But you
it's
make me watch it.
Yeah, facts. No, watch this shit, bro. And then they say they're doing a special presentation. Mephisto, Speak of the Devil. Now,
Is that Halloween? Like a Halloween
no, this
special?
says. Oh, it actually does not have a date
Okay.
or a month, so I don't know.
It would make sense.
I mean, it would make perfect sense. It would make perfect sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
But special presentations or just like 45 minutes to an hour where they just introduce the character just with a short storyline. They did that with Werewolf by Night.
And they did another the holiday
Guardians. Yeah. So I'm intrigued. People have been hinting at Mephisto ever since WandaVision.
And it didn't happen.
And it didn't happen. And they try to point out where Mephisto might pop up in every Disney Plus series, which I think is kind of funny. So if they do attempt to put this out,
If they do this.
look at that. If they do put this out, clearly I'm gonna watch it. So look, man, I am very underwhelmed at the slate of Marvel properties this year, except Secret Invasion.
DC is applying.
Oh no, they're applying that pressure, bro. And this is not even the new James Gunn shit yet. This is all the backlog shit that they putting out.
Listen, niggas hated Shazam. I liked it.
Shazam was great.
No, niggas is not messing with Shazam.
She was great. It's 3 weeks after it came out, this shit is already on streaming or about to be on streaming.
That's fine. I like Shazam.
But
I'm just saying, compared to what the first thing I see with Marvel, I like Shazam. So Shazam, then you got Blue Beetle and Flash. I'm like, hey, yo, we doing a lot. And then you got Aquaman.
Hey man, look, you got to put it out. It's May. You got to put it out. That I bet you that won't make $1 billion. And if it does, it's only because of Jason Momoa.
And water. You know.
And water.
Water.
With her.
Water and shit.
fuck out of here, fish man.
Oh God.
No, I'm wild for that.
We're here.
I respect.
Clearly,
Aquaman.
we have reached the end of our docket. Johnny.
If you're on YouTube, thank you for rocking with us this long. Hit the comment section.
We appreciate you.
Let us know about any of the topics that we have discussed today. Hit that
Yes.
like button, that subscribe button, and notification bell. We'll be back next week with some new shit for you.
Yes, sir.
Now, if you're on audio, you know what time it is.
Song of the week.
OS Song of the Week. So much music has dropped in the last couple weeks, man.
Man, what?
Where do I want to go? Let's see. Well, since I talked about time.
You are now listening to Oversaturated, the podcast, hosted by Johnnie and Ralph. Now let's get it.